Okay, we've had the new parts come through the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
So, just ahead of us in this session at the moment are Hamilton, and just behind us are Alonso, Gasly and Norris. Currently the fastest lap is a 1 minute 23.6. Sorry, we can't provide you with that information right now.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three today. Russell, Leclerc and Max Verstappen. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix. Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Sainz, Hamilton, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Daniel, Albon, Stroll, Gasly, Ricciardo, Bottas, Ocon, Magnussen, Sargent, Joe, and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. The last few races have been a bit rough for them, unable to get a clean run. That's got to have some effect on their confidence, surely.
Certainly confidence is an important factor. And every time you're involved in an incident, it's not just the car you damage, but that confidence as well. But all the top racing drivers are able to tune that out when the race gets underway and focus on the job at hand.
Okay, so let's go through all the gears if we can. We need to make sure the engagement is okay before the start. We're going to want to put some temperature into the tyres and brakes. We need to keep the engine cool though, so don't go too high with the revs. All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. With the sprint wrapped up, we now have our grid line-up for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race. Welcome back to Qatar, and the desert sands of time are running out this season for some of our drivers. Lights out are just moments away. This, the fourth race in the Middle East. We're back here in Lusail for a track that's 3.34 miles long. There are 16 turns around its unique three-prong shape and just a single DRS zone out of turn 16. It's fast and it's flowing, and there's a good overtaking opportunity with DRS down the long straight and into turn 1. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And starting next to them is George Russell. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Perez, Stroll, Albon, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Ricciardo, Sainz, Magnussen, Bottas, Hamilton, Ocon, Joe, Sargent, Fernando Alonso, Hülkenberg, Leclerc, and Daniel. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And with me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Daniel. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Right, let's get the car up to temperature on this lap, please. We're learning the gears, so let's go through them all if you can. Okay, we're monitoring some wear on the internal combustion engine. Be aware that we're going to start to see a loss of power. Let's focus now for the rest of the race. Okay, you've currently got 19th place. Alonso ahead, less than a second separates you. They're on fresh mediums. That's Hulkenberg behind. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh softs. You've got 11 laps till your pit window opens. 27 laps to go. Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy. Great manoeuvre, you made it look so easy. We got P16. Leclerc is ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on fresh mediums. Sargent behind. Okay, they're on old softs. You've got 10 laps until your pit window opens. Pit window opens in 10 laps. And 26 laps to go now. Okay, you're creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds a lap. Really good stuff. Okay, clear. We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time. safety car. No overtaking, reduce your pace. Keep your delta number positive as we form up. Right, drop your speed. Our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately. Okay, listen, don't worry about it, mate. It can happen to the best of us. Now look, I've put a new strategy option for you in the MFD, so go and have a look. Understood, copy that. Daniel's in the pits. Okay, off we go, back into the race. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember there's no overtaking until the timing line. Safety car in this lap. Okay, clear. A lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. The underbody's taken a little damage, just watch out for it. Be aware the car behind is catching you by 5/10 a lap, 5/10. afraid. Watch out for jams and misgears. You're pushing too hard. It's causing your gearbox to take increased wear. Just be careful. Okay, we've been given a time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race. Get your head down and let's get it done.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. And talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. So let's review the drivers' standings. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
There's a few contenders, but George Russell definitely stood out, I think. A really solid drive from him today, and one I'm sure the fans enjoyed.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. No change in the top spot then, but with today's points, their hold on that lead is getting weaker. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.